Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News. I am your host, Kim, and after a few weeks off, I am finally back with another episode of Unpopular Opinions. And boy, what a week it is to be back. Us Bravo fans, we've been on quite the roller coaster, even in just the last few days. I feel like I've literally experienced every emotion possible. We've got so much Bravo news, and I've got so many opinions to share.
That's my opinion!
There's so much going on in the world of Summer House. We've got some major Bravo legal news, new housewives being announced, and the premieres of both Love Island USA and NextGen NYC. And I'm going to get into it all. But before I do, you guys know what to do. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more Bravo breaking news. Okay, so on top of all of the Bravo news, which I'm going to get into in just a few minutes, BravoCon tickets also went on sale this week. If you guys were trying to get tickets, I hope you did. I did. My co-host Lisa and I will be there all 3 days doing VIP. We also got a ticket to Bravopalooza on Saturday, which I am so excited about. Let me know if you guys are headed to BravoCon in Las Vegas. It is November 14th to the 16th, and I am so excited. If you didn't manage to get 3-day tickets, do not worry because 1-day tickets go on sale this Friday. And just a little heads up, a pro tip, make sure you guys are signed up for Bravo Insider, the text, the emails, and signed up for Bravo's broadcast channel on Instagram because I got my tickets through pre-sale, which actually happened the day before on Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern time. They usually send like a promo code or some sort of pre-sale code. So if you guys are looking to get 1-day tickets, make sure you are signed up on all of those platforms and you will likely be able to get them on Thursday. And let's just say it's going to be a BravoCon for the books because due to this week's news, there are going to be a lot of new Bravo celebrities attending, as well as some that we won't actually get to see. I think most of you can probably guess which story I'm going to start with this week. It was a very sad week for me, as well as every other Paige stan, because Paige Desorbo announced her exit from Summer House. This was definitely the biggest news of the week. I feel like it sent shockwaves throughout the Bravo universe. I mean, people were in tears. People were texting me. My texts were blowing up because people know I love Paige. But I have to say, I saw this coming. We've actually reported on it several times throughout the last few months. There have definitely been rumors circulating. Paige has done interviews that kind of hinted that she wasn't coming back. So when she did release her statement on Instagram stories, which I woke up to, although I was extremely sad and I'm still distraught by it, I was not surprised in the least. Not only were the rumors swirling months beforehand, there was a blind that dropped on Dumois the day before that pretty much put the line in the sand. It said, I have a friend of a friend who is doing chemistry tests to be casted next season, and it's confirmed Paige will not be returning. Just waiting on her announcement soon. Now, I know Dumois, you kind of got to take what they say with a grain of salt. Not everything is confirmed, and not everything even winds up being true. But with all of the rumors and her interviews and this, I kind of knew it was coming. And the next day, she dropped her statement. It reads, I have a little life update for you. I've made the decision not to return to Summer House. Being part of this show has been one of the most rewarding chapters of my life. The friendships, the drama, the giggles, all unforgettable. You've seen me grow up over these last 7 summers. I'll always be beyond grateful for the memories, the community, and the opportunities this wild ride has brought me. But like all good things and some bad decisions, it's time for this chapter to close. To my castmates, the fans, and my NBCU family, thank you. I never could have imagined what this journey would turn into and how many of you would be along for the ride. And you haven't seen the last of me, I promise. So much more to do together, but for now, you know you can always find me and Daphne in my bed. Like, I almost get a little choked up reading that. I'm not going to lie because I will miss Paige dearly. She definitely brought, a lightheartedness, some humor. Her confessionals were absolutely top tier. I mean, Summer House will definitely not be the same without her. But let's be real, she's phased out of that show. She is no longer in that mode, that party mode. She never really was, to be quite honest, but right now her lifestyle just doesn't really fit that of the Summer House crew. But what is next for Paige? Because that statement, if you read it closely, she's like, "You have not seen the last of me, I promise you," is kind of hinting that something else is coming. And I gotta say, Bravo would be really dumb to let her go. I mean, I know they didn't let her go, but let her leave the network because she brings ratings, she brings viewers, she brings an audience from Giggly Squad that would maybe watch her on a different show that didn't even watch Summer House in the first place. So I have a feeling that there is something cooking with her at Bravo. Now, do I think she will be joining the Real Housewives of New York? I'm not quite sure that's the right fit for her either. I kind of think we do need some sort of spinoff, some sort of Summer in the City spinoff, because I do think that Lindsay's statement is coming next. I think Lindsay is probably not returning to the house, at least full time, this next summer. So I do think there's an opportunity for some sort of spinoff with them two and maybe some other newbies. Paige also launched her new pajama line called Daphne, named after her cat. That is just one of the many things that she has going for her. She has so many opportunities, so many brand deals. I mean, Giggly Squad is one of the biggest podcasts, so she is definitely going to be okay. But I really hope that her time on reality TV is not over. Now, another Summer House announcement that came out this week is that Lexi Wood is actually leaving the franchise too. And I have a little bit of an unpopular opinion about this one. She released a statement the day after Paige on Instagram stories that reads, "Well, that wasn't the summer I signed up for, but it definitely taught me a lot. I stood up for women and for what's right, even when it wasn't easy, and I do that again in a heartbeat. I'm leaving Summer House with no regrets. Well, maybe one. I'm proud of the way I handled myself, proud of what I walked away from, and even prouder of what I'm walking towards. Big things are coming. Stay tuned." Okay, ready for my unpopular opinion? I'm not sure Lexi should be leaving. Now, usually to me, it's pretty clear whether a cast member chooses to leave a show or Bravo kindly asks them to leave. In this instance, I'm not really sure which one it is. Do you guys think that Lexi actually got let go or she chose not to return? Because let's be real, she didn't have a good season. It was all about Jesse. She definitely got painted in a bad light. But I think without Jessie, she has some potential to actually be a good cast member on the show. She was bubbly. She seemed like she could have, had fun over the summer if it weren't for Jessie kind of hooking up, being single, all of that. I think she's everything that the Summer House casting team is actually looking for, but it definitely didn't go to plan for either one of them. Now, as far as standing up for other women in her statement, that is also questionable. I'm not really sure what she means by that. Maybe just like standing her ground and breaking up with Jessie. I don't know. She really didn't form many female friendships over the season. And other than maybe standing up for herself at the very end there, I'm not really sure what other women she's standing up for. But either way, I'm not going to say I will miss Lexi, but I do think that she brought something to the show, and I think it might be a mistake to see her go. Let me know what you guys think. As far as the rest of the cast, we did get confirmation that Carl will be returning to the Summer House next season. There was a fake post kind of floating around. I think it, started on Twitter and then started going around. Carl had to come out and say, "That's a fake post. I never was quitting the show. I am returning. I will be there." So we will be seeing Carl back next season. I think it's safe to say that we will be seeing Kyle and Jesse back as well because they were at the upfronts. Amanda is actually the only Summer House cast member listed on the BravoCon lineup at this point. So that leaves in question West, who I think will be returning, Sierra, who I also think will be returning, and Emerald and Gabby, who I think will not be returning. While I don't mind them as cast members, I just don't really think they bring much to the cast. And reality TV, you kind of need these big personalities. I just don't think they're quite it. This season definitely ended with a bang. The reunion brought a lot of drama, especially when it comes to Paige and Craig, or should I say, he who shall not be named, because we will never hear Paige say his name again. And I love that. I love that so much. There's actually a rumor going around that Craig might be suing Bravo for defamation. Now, I don't really think that that's true, but if you think about it, Paige's line about him texting two other bitches during their relationship, just up and disappeared from the finale. Why? I don't know. Then Paige is actually not saying his name at the reunion. So I don't know. There are definitely kind of signs that lead me to believe something like that is up. However, I do know that Southern Charm is in production right now. Craig is filming, and I don't think that would be happening if he was suing them. We got confirmation that Craig was, in fact, kicked out of Amanda and Kyle's wedding, which I think comes as no surprise to anyone. But Paige seems to kind of be able to finally share it and have this weight lifted off of her shoulders, basically saying that she's had to lie for him for the past 3 years. He was belligerently drunk. He was kicking tables, yelling, got kicked out of the Batula's house, and then refused to apologize. I gotta say, this season of Summer House was not good for Craig's image. I mean, as if like on his own show, he wasn't painted enough in a bad light. Oof, Summer House was not good for him, especially those last few episodes and the reunion, because I believe Paige. I firmly believe that she did have to cover up a lot of things that Craig did. And this is only one of them, only one of many, I'm sure. We also found out that Lindsay is no longer with Turner, the father of her daughter, Gemma. And this honestly makes me really sad. I only want the best for Lindsay. I feel like she finally got her happily ever after, but I guess things don't always turn out the way that you hope for. This is definitely an example of that. I think, it was quick to happen. Gemma was a mistake, for lack of a better term, but they are definitely making the best of it. She is so happy being a mother. Gemma is such a doll. And they seem to be co-parenting together very, very well. And at this point, that's all that matters. I just want her to be happy, but I do want her to find love and find somebody who can be that person that she's been looking for. Okay, so a lot going on in the Summer House world, like I said, but let's jump over to Real Housewives because, guys, we got one of the biggest casting bombshells that I have seen in a very long time. And that is that the iconic Rachel Zoe is joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. When I tell you, I freaked out when I saw this news. Rachel Zoe has always been an icon to me. If you watch the Rachel Zoe project back in the day, she's always been iconic. I die absolute bananas. I love it. I love her. I think this is an A+ casting decision by Bravo. Us Weekly reported that Rachel Zoe joins the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for season 15. Beyond excited. Rachel Zoe is making a major return to reality TV on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The fashion designer 53 is joining the cast of the reality show for its 15th season as a full-time housewife, Bravo exclusively revealed to Us Weekly on Friday, June 6th. I am beyond excited to be returning home to Bravo to join the cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Zoe exclusively told us in a statement, "I've been living my best new life and it felt like the perfect time to come back to TV and share it all with you. Here we go, RZ 2.0. She then posted a video to Instagram announcing her return.
It's official. I am coming back to Bravo. I am joining the cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I mean, bravo to Bravo. Whoever got her to return, especially in this capacity to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, thank you guys so much, because let's be real, the last few seasons of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills have definitely been lacking. I think a couple episodes ago, I actually called for Lisa Rinna to maybe return, and I know I got a lot of shit for that, but we needed something. We needed something. With Garcelle out, we needed somebody to replace her that was definitely going to bring their A game, and I think Rachel Zoe is it. She is reality TV gold. She knows how to throw shade. Though I am interested to see how she is going to interact with the other women. She is best friends with Kathy. Kathy actually posted kind of announcing her return. Her caption says, "Rachel Zoe, excited to share this journey with you. As always, we will have the most amazing time. Love you to pieces." So this also confirms Kathy's return to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I am wondering if she will stay a friend of, or maybe be promoted to full-time now that her bestie Rachel Zoe is part of the cast. But either way, I am so excited about this. I definitely am interested to see, what kind of drama she brings, how she kind of meshes with the group. Is she going to come after Sutton's fashion line? Is she going to come after Dorit's, Luke's? It's going to be absolutely epic, and this is just what the franchise needed. I don't know if you guys saw, but we also had Erica kind of hinting that she is going to be returning in a full-time role for next season. There were rumors swirling that she was maybe going to be demoted to friend of, but I don't think so. And one of the reasons why, Tom Girardi was finally sentenced this last week. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Tom Girardi is going to jail for over 7 years. And sorry, but that pretty much means he's going to die there. It was reported Tom Girardi, former Real Housewives husband, sentenced to 7 years in prison. In 2024, the 86-year-old estranged husband of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane was convicted of stealing money from his clients for over a decade. Former Real Housewives husband and attorney Tom Girardi was sentenced to 7 years and 3 months in prison Tuesday for embezzling millions of dollars from former clients. U.S. District Judge Josephine L. Staten also ordered Girardi, 86, to pay $2.3 million in restitution to victims and a $35,000 fine at the hearing in Los Angeles. So everybody was wondering whether Girardi would actually be sentenced to prison or just a care facility, seeing as he is so old and allegedly has dementia. But the judge did not hold back. He is going to prison, not a care facility, and he actually got this sentence on his 85th birthday. What a blow to get on your birthday. But all I gotta say is good riddance, because this man deserves every punishment that comes his way. I am definitely interested to hear Erica's reaction to it all, because Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is filming right now. And I'm also wondering if, since we have reached the end of Tom's trial, if this means that some of the loose ends that Erica still has to deal with from the legal process will get picked back up. I do believe that there are a couple more trials that Erica Jane may have to deal with. So Tom got what was coming to him. I feel like a lot of people are wondering, 7 years, why didn't he get more? I mean, Jen Shah got, about this time for doing a lot less. However, I do think that the judge and everybody else involved knows that this man is not going to survive that sentence. Therefore, he might as well have gotten life. It is what it is. He will die in prison. And all I can say is he did this to himself. He made these decisions. He chose to embezzle this money, and he has to pay for it and end his life this way. I'm sorry. Is that a little bit harsh? I don't know if I'm being a little too harsh here, but I just know that Tom Girardi is an evil man, and whether he has dementia or not, he made these decisions when he was in his right mind, and he deserves to pay for them. Just when we thought that was going to be the biggest legal news of the week, Britt Eady from Real Housewives of Atlanta said, "Hold my beer," because it came out that she is actually suing Bravo. Now, if you are not following this story, let me bring you up to date, because Britt Eady is the one that Kenya Moore allegedly shared explicit photos of on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kenya was then kicked off of filming for the season, and Britt Eady continued to film the rest of the season. They filmed the reunion a couple days ago. The seating chart dropped, and who was absent? The one and only Britt Eady. And a lot of people started wondering why. She quickly did release a statement on Instagram stories that reads, "As everyone is now aware, I'm not attending the reunion. This was my decision. The events of this season have devastated me, and while I cannot say much right now, I do want to set the record straight about one thing. The graphic sexual photos surrounding the events in episode 5, that photo was not me. As the episode makes clear, I did not see the photo at the time. Rather, I was made aware of the photo being presented at the event, and based on what I was told, assumed that it was somehow a photo of me, which is why I reacted in the way that I did. I do not know who was in that photo, but upon seeing it for the first time recently, I know now it was not me. I look forward to seeking accountability and moving past this dark part of my life. Britt." So the photo wasn't you? This whole thing was about a photo that actually wasn't you? So the statement was kind of weird to begin with. And then the next day, TMZ drops this bomb. Britt Eady sues Bravo for defamation, sexual harassment 1 year after explicit poster drama. Britt Eady is gearing up for a serious legal battle. She's suing Bravo for defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, sexual harassment, and more over the jaw-dropping drama that stemmed from Kenya Moore allegedly displaying explicit images of her at her salon opening last year. The Real Housewives of Atlanta star filed legal docs against Bravo, its parent company, NBC Universal, and its production companies, Truly Original and Endemol Shine North America, Thursday, claiming they knowingly misled the public into believing Moore did, in fact, distribute photos of her in the midst of a sexual act last June. In her lawsuit, Eady claims the woman on the posters was not her, but says Bravo falsely unmistakably implied that the graphic sexual photograph depicted her, later airing cast members' reaction to the ordeal in an April episode of the show's 16th season. Eady claims Bravo knowingly contributed to a hostile work environment and sexually harassed her by subjecting her to unwelcome, offensive, and sexualized behavior and comments, by requiring her to show up to work after she experienced what she calls a gendered attack. She is now asking Bravo for the immediate removal of the episode from public access and at least $20 million in damages. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts about this. The first one being, why are you suing over a photo that isn't even you? You're saying that Kenya or Bravo implied that it was you, but it actually wasn't? How are you just finding this out? I mean, obviously, there is some truth to the story if you actually thought the photos were of you for this whole time. I'm not saying that what Kenya did was right by any means, but it definitely seems like Bravo took the action that was needed, removed Kenya from the narrative, and Britt continued to film the rest of the season. So if you felt this way and you felt that Bravo was using it in this way, why did you continue to film the rest of the season after this already played out and then choose to sue them for $20 million? Make it make sense. Other headlines have come out that Britt Eady is actually in desperate need of money. I mean, if you guys saw that episode with that tragic country club party where she could not even feed her guests or get the event set up on time or put tissue paper in the damn boxes of her shapewear. Yeah, that one. I guess there's rumors going around that she actually hasn't even paid the event planner for that party to begin with. So it definitely makes sense why she is suing Bravo. Oh, God. Do we have another Leah McSweeney on our hands? Like, girls, you signed up for this show. You know is going to get dirty, get low. I mean, Kenya should be suing you for threatening her with a GUN. I'm sorry. I am so not Team Britt Eady. I think you guys can tell. Let me know if I'm wrong in this. But I think this is a desperate plea for money. It is a total cash grab. You didn't show up for the reunion. You're not taking accountability for anything that you did wrong. And I think it's safe to say this is the last we'll be seeing of Britt Eady. But I do think that we will be seeing the return of Kenya Moore next season. She tweeted a statement on reunion day that says, "I'm disappointed to not be a part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta 16 reunion taping today. Please know I take full accountability for my actions and deeply apologize to all those affected, including Brittany, the cast, crew, guests, and viewers. I look forward to seeing you all back on Bravo soon." So it does seem like Kenya, while she was definitely punished for what she did, I think she has served her time and she will be back on the network. But I think it's safe to say that Britt is absolutely done. And not gonna lie, I'm happy to see her go because regardless of all of this, regardless of all of the drama and everything that happened with Kenya, I was not into Britt this season. And it's not just because of her nasally voice and her husband that just irks me. I just don't like the way she moves in this group and interacts with the women. And I don't need to see her on my screen anymore. Okay, let's finish this week's episode by talking about two of the most anticipated premieres that happened this week, NextGen NYC and Love Island USA. I don't know if you guys are watching either of these, but if you are not, I definitely recommend tuning in. Now, I have to admit, let's start with NextGen NYC. I was a little bit hesitant about this show. Now, I am a longstanding Bravo fan. I watch pretty much every show on the network. Of course, I love seeing the Housewives kids grow up and do their own thing. But I don't know, some of these newer shows that Bravo tries to do, I mean, the reboots, obviously, but Real Girlfriends in Paris, some of these other new shows that they try to attempt to launch and make popular don't quite stick. I wasn't sure if this was going to be another one of those, but the premiere, I gotta say, locked me the F in. This group is definitely bringing the drama. They definitely kind of live interesting lives in New York City. And I gotta say, the Housewives kids are totally bringing it. I mean, Ariana Bierman, who knew that she was going to be the main character of this show? I don't know if it's just the first episode, but her and her boyfriend, who is actually the heir to Zaxby's Chicken, they're definitely bringing it. I am invested in them and in their relationship and her relationship with none other than her mother, Kim Zolciak, because she dropped the bomb that Kim spent all of her money. Like, this comes as no surprise, obviously, but the fact that, of course, as reality stars, she started making money young. She started doing Instagram partnerships. I'm going to bet you she had tens of thousands of dollars in the bank, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank, due to brand partnerships and deals and all of that social media stuff that she's been doing for years. And the fact that her parents spent it and she does not know on what, she has no idea where it went, absolutely breaks my heart. And not only that, they still ask her for money. Like, I don't know. Like, Kim and Croy definitely need to get their shit together. I mean, they are another story that I don't have time to get into today. But the fact that they are asking their own kids for money to support them and their younger siblings, nope. No, 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 no. And I hope that that doesn't continue because of this show. Ariana's definitely going to be making more money from this show. Oh God, I feel bad for her. I feel bad that she has been put in this position, and I really hope that she finds a way to kind of make it on her own and not have to support her mom and her dad through whatever they're going through. But beyond that, I love seeing Gia back on the screen. I love seeing Riley and Brooks. I definitely think this show has a lot of potential. So if you have not tuned in, definitely give it a try. I will be watching again this week to kind of really see whether it's worth moving forward with. And finally, if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I am obsessed with Love Island USA. And season 7 premiered last week. Oh gosh, I think we are in for one hell of a season. I mean, a lot of people were questioning whether anything could top season 6, but season 7 is definitely starting off with a bang. We have a lot of great cast members, some bombshells that are definitely not scared to bring the drama. There's already been tears. We're in for a recoupling tonight. I am recording this on Sunday, so it'll drop on Monday. I cannot wait to find out what happens in that villa. As of right now, Shelly and Alandria are my girls. I love them so much. I don't know if Alandria and Taylor are endgame, but I am willing to give them a shot. Shelly definitely still needs to find her man. I don't know if it is Ace, but we'll see. I am willing to kind of, keep that on the back burner. Huda and Jeremiah, do not even get me started on them. I mean, it is day 3 and you are calling yourselves mom and dad and basically closing it off to everybody else. Like, talk about possessive. You need to take it down several notches because you are on a reality dating competition show and you should not be closed off with somebody by day 3, especially after his reaction to telling him that you have a kid. Like, he is not okay with this. He is pretending that he's okay with this, but the way that he just sat there and asked, "How many kids?" Like, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Not even asking, "Oh, what are their names? What is your relationship with their father?" Like, anything to learn more about them. He was very surface level, asked 2 random questions, and then dipped out and said, "Oh, we're good for now." I think he is just in this game for the money. I think he sees Huda as an easy target to stay with until the end and potentially win if he keeps up this facade. The love triangle between Nick, Belle Dashe, and Sierra, I am here for. I did not like Belle Dasha at all. At first, was mostly because of her voice. I couldn't even stand listening to her, but she's definitely redeemed herself a little bit the last couple episodes, so I am willing to give her a shot. I'm interested to see what happens during the recoupling and to see who ends up with Ace, because he is definitely kind of a catch in the villa. He's single, and a lot of girls seem to have their eye on him. So I'm interested to see what happens with him. If you guys are not watching, trust me when I say you need to. You will not regret it. It is addictive. You will fall into it absolutely immediately. But it is quite the commitment, seeing as it is on every single day except hump day. So if you have the time to commit in your schedule, definitely do it. If you don't have the time, make the time, because I will be covering it each week. It is one of my favorite topics to talk about, one of my favorite shows to talk about. Gosh, it is just so good. It delivers every single episode. So that's it for this week. I feel like I am winded because of all of the stories that we had to cover. There is so much going on. As always, make sure you drop all of your opinions in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you not? And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more Bravo breaking news.